Good evening, students. So guys, this is the first question. Read and try to understand this. So 25 is coming out to be a unanimous answer. So should I take it that you all have tried this question? Okay, shall we start the discussion on the same? Okay, students, as stated in this very question, the monkey goes up by 2 meters and it slips down by 1 in the immediate next minute. So the net output of the monkey happens to be the monkey is 1 up in 2 minutes. Students, a basic principle that we should always keep in mind while answering such questions is that whatever monkey covers up in 1 minute, we should always keep it aside and then try to cover the remaining in the possible time. Now, as the net result is monkey is 1 up in 2 minutes, following the same logic, monkey will be 2 up in 4 minutes. It will be 6 up. It will be 3 up in 6 minutes and so on. As I told you to keep these 2 meters separate, so can we say monkey will be covering 12 up in 24 minutes? Now guys, monkey has covered 12 meters in 24 minutes and now the remaining distance happens to be 2 meters, which the monkey can cover in the very next minute. That is, 1 more minute down the line, in the 25th minute, monkey will be able to cover the remaining 2 and he will be reaching at the top. So the answer to the question becomes 25 minutes. Guys, any problem to anybody out there? Shall I take you all have understood it? Sadhvi, one simple logic I like to tell you here. Say what you are answering is 28. Just remember 28th minute is an even number of minutes. And in every even minute, the monkey descends down actually. It comes down. And the question or the distance can never be traveled in the last minute, when in the immediate last minute you are destroying the work done. As in this case, the monkey is slipping down in the 28th minute, it could not have reached at the top at all. You got that, Sadhvi? Yeah, students, should I take it you all have got it? Okay, one more question of the same type, just to be clear about the logic, students. Say it was monkey goes 3 up in 1 minute and it slips by 1 in the next minute or in the second minute. What shall be the answer to the question? Think about it and answer. I want the exact answer this time. Aditya, it is not 23. Chakshu, would it be complete 13 minutes? Think about it. It will not be 12 either. Guys, answer it carefully. Lipika, no. The students, monkey goes 3 up in 1 minute and it slips by 1 in the second minute. See, the net result is monkey is 2 up in 2 minutes. Following the same logic, it will be 4 up in 4, 6 up in 6, and so on. But students, if you very carefully remember what I told in the last question, it was that whatever monkey goes up in 1 unit of time, which is 3 in this case, you must keep that separate. So if I keep 3 separate, firstly we will always try to cover 11 in this manner. Now this is 6 up in 6, 8 in 8, 10 in 10. You cannot cover 11 in this manner. So what will happen is in the 11th minute, student will go 3 up, again slip by 1, and net result it will be student is 12 up in 12 minutes. Now the remaining distance is 2 meters and student can go 3. In this case, monkey can go 3 meters in 1 minute. So this means in order to cover 2, it will take 2/3 of a minute. Now 12 minutes have already gone. So what will become the answer, students? It will be 12 2 by 3 or 38 by 3 minutes. Yeah, Aditya, it's as good as 12 minutes 40 seconds. Students, should I take it? You all have got the concept how to approach this? Okay, moving on to the next question. This one. Read, understand, and answer this. Okay, let's discuss it now. Now here, as stated in the question, students, now from here a person starts at 6 and reaches here at 10. From here a person starts at 8. So taking the first consideration, can I say by 8 o'clock the person starting from here would have covered half the distance and reached roughly at the midpoint. Now students, if I take this distance as D, so this distance will also be D. Now applying the concept of that the ratio of the distances is basically the ratio of speeds and times corresponding. Here, can you say at 8 o'clock when this person is at this stage, another is at this stage, they both will try to cover this distance d. Now, as their time takens are in the ratio of 8:7, so their speed will be in the ratio of 7:8. Now, in this case, because one person is at this stage, other is at this stage, and the ratio of their speeds is 7:8, and the time they will travel will be same till the point they meet, even the distances covered will be in the ratio of 7:8. Now students, this person who is at the midpoint at 8, this one, he covered the distance d in 2 hours, and now he has to cover d by 15 of the distance. So how much time he will take? The time taken will be equal to 56 minutes. As it is already 8 o'clock, so they will meet at 8:56. So you all got the answer, students? Shall I take you have understood it? Preet, distance will be 7:8 because their speeds are in the ratio of 7:8. See, the ratio of their speeds is 7:8, and when they will travel for the same time, even the distances will be covered in the ratio of 7:8. Yeah, Lipika, I think the volume is the maximum possible over here. You are not able to hear? Preet, due to that time of 8:7 only, we arrived at this very ratio. But that time is to travel the total distance, and now we are talking about only this distance. And they will not take the time like that. We are not talking about how much time they will take to cover this distance respectively. Okay, students, moving on. Read, understand and answer this question. Thank you, Nitish. Carry on. Guys, try this question. Is the answer 220, students? Let's see, Aditya, what others are saying. Aditya, now your own answer is 280. Maybe what you are saying is right, Manoj. I guess you all have read the question carefully. Now let me just go and explain this. Students, try to understand this. See, the question states very carefully, very clearly, it says that when A and B run the race, when A and B run the race, A wins by 120 seconds. So that simply means what, students, that when A reaches the final point, B reaches after 120 seconds of the same. Now, correlating this information with the third statement, it says when B and C run, B wins by 60 seconds. That means C reaches the final point after 60 seconds of B. Can I correlate these two information, students? It's simply that when A reaches after 120 seconds of that, B reaches, and after 60 seconds of that, C reaches. So that means C reaches after 180 seconds of A. Now, he says when A and C run the race, A wins by 540 meters. Students, this means when A reaches at the finishing point, C was behind by 540 meters. Now, can we correlate the two informations? It reaches after 180 seconds and it was behind by 540 meters. What does it mean in together? It simply means C covers 540 meters in 180 seconds. So that gives us the speed of the C as 3 meters per second, students. So how much time will C take in total? C will take a total of 400 seconds to do it. And we already know A has reached 180 seconds earlier than that. So this means A can cover the whole distance in 220 seconds. Students, have you all understood it the way I am telling you to be? A reaches after 120 seconds, B reaches after 60 seconds, C reaches, so C reaches after 180 seconds of A. And when A and C were running, C was behind by 540 meters. So C covers those 540 meters in 180 seconds. So that means the speed of C happens to be 3 meters per second. So that means C takes a total of 1200 by 3, 400 seconds. And we know A takes 180 seconds then less than him. So A's time finally comes out to be 220 seconds. Right, students? Shall I take you all have got it and we should move on to the next question? Okay, moving on. This is the next question, students. Read, understand, answer. Let's see, Manoj, what others say. The logic is quite right, Lipika. Yeah, guys, what is the answer? So guys, is the answer 48 or 50? Let's discuss it. The students, if I mark B here, A gives B a start of 26 meters and beat him by 14 meters. So can you say, had A given B a start of 40 meters, they would have finished the last line together? Similarly, A gives C a start of 42 meters and beats him by 46 meters. So had A given C a start of 88 meters, they would have reached at the final point together. Now what does it all mean, students? In total, A could have given B 40 meters and C 88 meters. Sadhvi, just listen. See, A gives B a start of 26 and then beats him by 14. So what does that mean? In total, if A had given B 40 meters, they would have finished the race together. Right, Sadhvi? Now A gives C a start of 42 and beats him by 46. So had he given him a start of 88, they would have finished the race together. Now that means the time in which A travels the complete 1000, B travels 960 and C travels 912. So that means B can give C a start of 48 meters if the race happens to be 960. But we very well know the race is actually 1000. So after that, the approach that you can follow is, out of 960 he can give him 48. So out of 1000 he will be able to give him how many meters? And the answer happens to be 50. So guys, have you all got this? The answer happens to be 50 meters. Now one more thing over here. Just focus on this 48, students. B can give C 48 when the total race is 960. So the people who are good at calculations could have even seen that B can give C basically 5% of the total race, because 960's 10% is 96 and 5% is 48. Similarly, 5% of 1000 happens to be 50. Right, so students, having good calculations is always an advantage with you. You can apply that and answer it so quickly without applying unitary method in this case. Okay, any problem to anybody? Guys, shall we move on to the next question? Okay, next question is, this one, students. It's an actual CAT question. I guess you all are getting the question. Okay, something very important and good to be learnt out of this actual CAT question, students. Okay, some of you want a minute. I'm waiting, guys. Please try. So you're answering 28. So guys, this is one equation that you can make. And this is the second equation that you can make. Guys, because the question is having a bit of complexity, so in order to crack it, it is very important that firstly you make the equations right. The equation is he goes 40 kilometers downstream, comes back 40 kilometers, and he takes a total of 7 hours. That's one. He goes 40 kilometers while returning 24 kilometers from the original starting point. That means he returned only 16 kilometers by that time. He finds an eraser which he drops while starting from there. So that means as the eraser is traveling at the speed of water only, water has covered 24 kilometers in the same time. So I guess you all are clear about the two equations over here. Yes, students? Now, guys, one approach that we apply in certain questions is bottom up. That is, after making an equation, you all can have a look. It is not easy to solve this equation. Yes. So what we do is we try to bottom up, we try to put up the options into the given values. Now listen to me very carefully, students. Now see, this 7, which is an integer, could be of a great help, which tells you if it is a complete time period, if it's a complete hours, there is a very strong probability that both the speeds are factors of both the distances. Now, 26 is not a factor of 40, 16 is not an exact factor of 40. You are left with only two options, 8 and 20. Now 8 and 20, they both are factors of 40, and perchance we require two speeds only. One is downstream and one is upstream. But the question is asking about downstream. Now students, could the downstream speed be 8 kilometers? In that case, you will take 5 hours to go downstream only. So that simply means 8 is not possible. And you will start or try this option as 20. If v plus w has a value of 20 here, how much time you will take here? It will be 2. Total time taken is 7 hours. How many hours are left? It is 5. So that means what happens to be the upstream distance? Upstream speed, sorry, it will become 8 kilometers an hour. Now guys, put it over here. At the rate of 20, you get 2. At the rate of 8, you get 2. And when 20 is downstream, 8 is upstream, the speed of water happens to be 6. So that tells you how much time. Here it is 4. Now 4 is actually the sum of 2 plus 2. So guys, the way you are trying this options, it gets absolutely satisfied the equation. So this means 20 happens to be the downstream speed and 8 will become the upstream speed. So shall I take it that you all have understood it? Yes, right, Sadhvi? So shall we move on to the next question, students? And here it is. Guys, answer this question. Guys, it's an easy question, just answer it carefully. The first train has a speed of 72, length of 700 and length of bridge is given to be 780. So how much time the first train alone will take to cover this distance, students? It will be 54 seconds. Now, second train has a length of 240. And the length of the bridge again happens to be 780. So how much time will the second train take? It will be 68 seconds. Now guys, the question is, how long do the two trains take to clear the bridge? So the higher of the two shall simply become your answer. Actually, in how much time the first crosses doesn't affect the second and all, and same goes for the second train as well. So higher of the two will become your answer for the question. So it is 68 seconds. Is that okay, students? Okay. Yes, Sadhvi, tell me what is the problem. Sadhvi, I just said because two trains have to cross a bridge. So just take those moving independently. So one takes 54 seconds to do so, and another takes 68 seconds to do so. Sadhvi, this is what I am saying. In how much time the first train crosses doesn't affect the time of the second. And same goes for the other train as well. So you need to calculate both the times individually, and the higher of the two will become your answer. Right? As one of the trains is taking 68 seconds to do so, so answer will become 68 seconds only. Right, guys? We should move on to the next question. Yeah. Answer this question. Yes, think about it, students. I think you all can answer this. Shubham, see to it what you are writing. Sadhvi, when a train crosses a bridge, the total distance traveled is the sum of the lengths of the train as well as the bridge. So this is that way we calculated 54 and 68. Preet, that could be right. Now in this question, a train starts from here at 9. The total distance is given to be 120, and till 10 o'clock it keeps on moving. Can we say by that time the remaining distance will be 80? Now at that time this train stops for 15 minutes and a train starts from here at 10 o'clock. Can we say in those 15 minutes the train from here will be covering 10 kilometers? Now students, at 10:15 it will be here and it will start from here, and the speed of both is given to be same, that is 40 kilometers an hour, and they will be having a distance of 70 kilometers between them at that time. Now the distance is given to be 70 now. It becomes and their relative speed becomes 80 kilometers an hour. So how much time they will take exactly, students? They will take 52 minutes and 30 seconds. You need to add that time in 10:15. And your answer shall become 11:07:30. So it's 30 seconds past 7 minutes. This time after 11 is the time when the two trains are meeting. Any doubt to anybody out there? I guess you all have got it. Disha, at 9 o'clock this traveled 40. So at 10 it was here at 40 at 10 o'clock, and in the meantime it stopped and train from here covered this 10 kilometers represented in the red color and now in green. So that means at 10:15 the distance between them was 70 kilometers. Now this is going 40 this way, this is coming 40 this way, so they have a relative speed of 80 kilometers an hour. So in order to cover 70, they will take 52 minutes and 30 seconds. So the time is already 10:15. When you add that time to 10:15, you get your answer as 11:07:30. Is it alright, students? Okay, moving on to the next question. Yeah, this one, a very good question, students. Answer it. So, is it 10 students? Now this is point A. This is point B. Students, try to understand by way of diagram. It actually becomes quite simple if you follow this question by way of diagram, students. Do try it. So, is it 10? Let's discuss it. See guys, there are two approaches that you can apply over here. One, I guess you all have understood the question that they both start from the same point. Say one is this green color moving, another is this blue color moving. The green one, the faster person, reaches over here and returns and meets another person at this point, which is referred as P. And the question is talking about the distance BP. The students, just have a look over this case. Firstly, if I move or go with the way of equation. See, equation is if you take this distance to be equal to x, and this complete distance we know is equal to 55. Now what has actually happened? One student covered 55 plus x at the higher speed, that is 13, in the same time in which one student covered 55 minus x at the rate of 9 kilometers per hour. So guys, this becomes a solution wherein you just solve it and find the value of x to be equal to 10. That is one approach that you can apply to answer this question. And second approach is straight away, students, can you say that both person J and K together covered the distance 2 times? Having any doubt on the same, just have a look over here. The point up to which this green line comes is the same one as the point up to which this blue line has come. So that simply means together they both covered the distance, which is twice of 55, that is 110 kilometers. And their speeds are given to be in the ratio of 13:9. The times they have taken are equal, students. You call it T1, T2, or you call it T1, T1 only. The time that they took, they are equal. So this means the ratio of their distances will be just equal to the ratio of their speeds. So that means the faster person has covered 110 into 13 by 22, that is equal to 65 kilometers. So that means this distance happens to be 55 plus 10. So 10 becomes your answer, students. So should I take it you all have got this solution? Now here in this, some of you might have gone for the time period also, which is again good, which is nothing wrong. That 110 they are covering at the rate of 22 kilometers per hour, and the time that they take are 5 hours. Even that is alright. If you have found that, there is no problem with that also. So shall we move on to the next question? Okay, students, the next question is, this question. Carefully read it and answer it. Think about it and then answer it, students. Think about it. Let's see quick. Answer it, students, understand it and then answer it. Yeah, students, shall we discuss it? See, logically what has happened over here is the first round of 15 kilometers he has taken at a certain speed, but understanding the question very carefully, he has only given you the difference of the time of passaging through point Q. So that means the very first round in which this 7.5 kilometers is covered at the original speed doesn't make a difference at all. So what is required is the 7.5 kilometers of the first round plus the 7.5 kilometers of the second round, which he covered at the rate of 5 kilometers less than the original speed. There is a gap of 9/4 hours. So you can understand this 9/4 is 2 hours and 15 minutes. And the question is talking about the time in which you cross the point Q at 2 different times. So guys, basically the point worth consideration is this semicircle which he traveled at the original speed, and then the next semicircle which he traveled at a speed of 5 kilometers less than the original speed. And after that, as I told you earlier as well, you must try to put up the options. The moment you put S over here, you get 3/4 from this and 1.5 from this, and the sum of those two becomes 9/4. This means S is his original speed. The second round speed must be 5 km/h. Yeah, Disha, it is very well written that it was the first round, but the time is given from Q to Q only. So whatever initial time he took to cover the first half of the first round is not required for the answer. He definitely took the complete round, but the time is given from Q to Q. Right? So the first half of the first round is not needed for the question actually. So guys, shall I take it you have got it? So you could have seen there, even in this question, we applied the bottom-up approach. Right? That is, we solve the equation and then we put it like that. Somik, why you should take any other value? The reason is, he has given that it's a total road of 15 kilometers. So we have to take half of it, as the time period was given to us to be 2.5. If we take any other distance, if any other distance is taken, even then it will change that time period also. Is that okay, Somik? Okay guys, moving on. Read and answer this question. Think about it, students. So is the answer 100, students? So I guess you all have read the question, guys. Just have a look here and answer it. See, initial he travels at his original speed, the 40 kilometers. Then there is accident which takes place. His speed reduces to 3/4 and he covers the remaining distance as 3/4. And the result is he is late by 38. Now in the second scenario, he goes at S, continues at S. Here the accident takes place, 3/4 S. He is late by 26. Just tell me, students, could there be this difference of time have happened due to the distance in this blue color represented over there? It will not be. Similarly, could there be a difference due to this third distance over here, which he always traveled at 3/4 of the distance? So that simply means the distance will definitely be due to the 60 kilometers which are traveled at two different speeds. So 60 kilometers traveled at 3/4 of the speed minus 60 kilometers traveled at the original speed. The time taken, there is a gap of 12 by 60 hours. Why I took 12 by 60 over here? Because once he was late by 38 minutes and secondly it was late by 26 minutes and the time period we have taken in hours. So you can solve this, students, and find the answer to be S is equal to 100 kilometers per hour. Right, students? Yeah, Sadhvi, it is 38 minus 26. So students, shall we move on to the next question? Okay, the next 3-4 questions, students, try to answer those quickly. It's a very good question. Solve and answer. Yes, Aditya. Please think about it carefully. See, one thing you all should be clear by now. Okay, Sadhvi. Now here students, I guess you all should be clear by now. If you keep standing or the person keeps standing here, in this case at A only, after how much time he would have heard that sound? He would have heard that after 40 minutes. Now, he heard that sound after 41 minutes because he was not standing still there. Rather, he was walking towards B. Now, that means had the sound would have traveled at this stage till 40 minutes and sound has to reach here after 41 minutes because the person has reached here by that time. This means the sound traveled 60 seconds extra at the rate of 331 meters per second, or the distance between A and B is 19860. Is that okay, students? Okay, the second last question for the day. Students, read, understand this and answer. Sadhvi, you can solve our material completely. It has plenty of exercises and questions. I don't think there is any need to do more than that. Yes, students. So shall we take 45 as the unanimous answer? Guys, you all should have understood it. Say this one happens to be their first meeting point. So as it's defined in the question, first time they meet at a gap of 18 kilometers from B. Now what happens is this red person reaches at A, returns, and this blue person reaches at B and returns. Now what will be the logic that we will apply in this case, students? One thing, are you clear about this, that when they both travel the distance for the first time ever, they meet at a gap of 18 kilometers from B. That means the person starting from B has traveled 18 kilometers when they together cover the distance once. And can you just have a look that they have traveled the distance total 3 times? And in case of 3 distances, the person starting from B must have traveled a total distance of 54 kilometers, students. And now you can just end the question by saying, what is the total distance traveled by this red line? Sadhvi, if they cover the distance together once, in that the person from B travels 18 kilometers because they meet at a distance of 18 kilometers from B. Pallavi, as you can see from the straight lines, they are total traveling 3 times. So if one distance the contribution of the person from B is 18, in 3 distances the contribution of person B will become 54 kilometers. And what he has actually done is, just have a look at the red line. It is the complete distance plus 9 kilometers. So this means the complete distance will be 54 minus 9, that is 45 kilometers. Is that alright, students? Shall I take it? You all have got that? Yes? Pallavi, I said when they meet for the first time, the person from B has covered 18 kilometers. This means in together covering the distance once, treating it like a work problem that in which 2 persons do it together, one person has covered 18 kilometers. So in covering the total distance 3 times, the contribution of the person starting from B will become 18 into 3, that is 54 kilometers. And what he has actually done is the total distance plus 9 kilometers. So we subtract 9 from that to get the answer as 45 kilometers. Okay, guys? Now, the last question. I'll give you 30 seconds to think of it and answer it. Think about it in the shortcut method, students. The distance traveled will become 7,200, students. Firstly, try to understand this thing given in the rectangle. And then try to apply the concept here in the circle, students. I think you will be able to understand it very carefully. As the time that the two cyclists take and the time that the bird takes is equal, so we can cancel T1, T2 over here. So that means whatever is the ratio of their speeds, same will become the ratio of their distances, that is 1:3. Now, knowing that the two cyclists have traveled 2,400 meters, we can say the bird would have traveled 7,200 meters, which will become your answer, students. Shall I take it, students? You all have got it? 7,200? Okay, students. So this was the last question from my side. Right. Thank you so much.